We've got Saurav Rai, who is a film director and screenwriter, and he is visiting Kolkata for Kolkata International Children's Film Festival, which starts from 25th to 29th in London. And sort of glad to meet with you. And we're going to talk about a couple of topics ranging from your study with Saurav Rai Film Institute. That happened in 2015-16?
Yeah, I joined in 2011.
Yes.
And I graduated by 2015 end. Yeah.
Yes. And then you had a film which was, promoted, nominated for the Cannes, which was called Nest.
Yeah, it was a diploma film.
Yes.
Made in Saurav Rai, along with my batchmates.
Yes.
And we competed in the Cine Foundation, currently called La Cine.
Yes.
In Cannes in 2016 as an official competition. Yeah.
Yes. And then after a gap, I think in 2019 you did Invitation.
Yeah, I think 2018, me along with other batch member from SRFKI, we wanted to create something, and we just got along, and we made our first feature film called Invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was indeed a very unique project, as we didn't have a bound script per se.
Yes.
But we did have a lot of excitement and few insights, and we decided, if you don't have script but we have a intention, we had a kind of a very settable kind of a structure. So yeah, it was interesting.
It is possible.
Yeah. We were trying to feel like it was like screenwriting all along the way. Before in the paper, rather than in the paper, we did it in in a live action kind of a section.
A la Mrinal Sen type, very he used to do improvisations, and then coming back to 2021, I think, or 2024, I think you got that special jury award in Czech Republic Film Festival. It's in 2023.
Yeah, last year.
Last year.
It's in I think April. No, July. We were there in the Proxima competition.
Yes.
And we ended up bagging that Proxima Special Jury Prize. It was a huge surprise because we were competing, or rather we would say our movies were screened in some of the great works by the like filmmakers from Iran, Korea, Germany, Sweden. So yeah,
we are very proud.
Yes, thank you.
We are very proud because you followed a lineage of Indian filmmakers and actors. As I said, Mrinal Sen's movie got a special award there. Saurav Rai's film got backed the main award there in Czech Republic. And also it started with Nargis, I think, in Mother India in 1958, and then Om Puri also got award. So that was, I think, following the same pathway. Now coming back to the film Gurnaz, which is a very interesting film, and you are screening this in the Children's Film Festival. First of all, it is about a child, a girl child, right, who is hardly 9 years old, right? Her name is Tulsi, and she loses one of her pets, and therefore he encounters different beings, and the story goes in a different track, new revelations, and the story unfolds. I would let everyone watch the film to understand. You mentioned in a couple of interviews, international interviews, that you very, very well mix up. This is the setting, this real life setting where you and me are talking, and within this setting there is an interpenetration of a hyper real dimension also, which we cannot sense with our five senses. Five senses can give so much of inputs which the brain can process, but apart from that, there is another world and a world of other beings also interlocked there. Now, as you said that you were from Darjeeling, and to stay in a place which is within the flora and fauna, it is acceptable, I would say, and literally little bit easy to understand this interlocking of two different dimensions in such a scenario. How you got inspired? You said that your grandmother's story inspired you to look into this direction of the film. Can you just tell us a little bit more on this?
I think
Any
anything like whenever some initiation or some kind of a incident happens in my life, I take a close inspiration from something which I see, something which I feel is paramount to my conscience, or like something which affects me deep. It's not something like I decide to create something one day and write something one day.
There is a trigger.
There's a trigger, and I dwell on it. I dwell on it for long. Like probably there were triggers like which happened like some 12, 13 years back. I'm still working on it in my brain without without noticing that I'm actually working on it.
Yeah.
Similarly, like in Gurnaz, the disappearance of a dog in my hometown, like my mother going to search for the dog. I could sense a beautiful human relationship with an animal. But apart from that, like the persistence, the zeal of my mother, like how deeply attached she was to the animal in absence of her children. So that kind of gave me a very deep gaze towards looking at the relationship between animals and human beings. Having said that, of course, they were like I realized slowly there was a pattern. I could infuse memories of my grandmother or similar oratory myths or folk tales which I had heard across generations, passed on generations. So yeah, I think it is simply an exercise for us. I think we always try to exercise our craft first of all, and being honest about it. So it was indeed a very deeply engrossing process, I would say.
Yes.
And yeah, I think we're still on the path, to explore what excites, and apart from the mere superficial engagement, how much you can explore. So yeah, that has been my engagement so far.
Yes. And Gurnaz, it's a Nepali and a Hindi dog film.
Partly, not Hindi exactly, but yeah,
Nepali.
Mostly Nepali.
And this girl, her name is Tulsi. She, in fact, how did you identify her? She's from Kalimpong, I would understand.
Yeah, she's from this beautiful village called Trikhim, which is close to Siliguri, and like it was my
On the Tista?
Not really. Bakri is a small tea garden,
Okay.
just 12 kilometers opposite to Bakri.
Yeah.
Some of my family members suggested, there was this girl who is really good in real life as a human being. So I was interested, and when we met, it took some time. Like we did a workshop, and that was the process.
Yes. And so Gurnaz has become very popular, and in the fact that you have introduced the element of paranormal, which normally we try and find out in sci-fi movies in the West. But this is also a movie, not in the sense a sci-fi movie, but it is a paranormal, the interdimensional aspect of it is there, but it's also a very emotional movie. It has got emotions associated with it, and the fact that you're working on children's films, and you have already stated that sometime you will be moving into our urban area, because the child has grown now. The child is growing, and he or she will have to face a brave new world. From that innocence to more conflicting complexities arising out of it. So how do you see the innocence of the child and the confrontation he has to face when he is facing the big wide world, and how that can be portrayed in your future movies, coming with this movie? That's I think one content-wise challenge, because you have to, on one hand, since you've started with children's films, you have to keep the innocence intact some point of time, but the innocence cannot be all intact. Like we know, the glass is brittle, so there would be confrontations with a more complex world, with more complex people and the psychological process. Isn't that a challenge for a filmmaker to keep his art and craft alive along with the content? A song that comes to me is Comfortably Numb from Pink Floyd. The child has grown, the dream is gone, right? So, but the dream, you have to keep it alive, right? So
I think all along this process of filmmaking from being a cinematographer from a young age,
Yes.
then to migrate to a mass communication course, then to deviate from there to actually come to study filmmaking and screenplay writing. All along, like, there has been always a constant shift in terms of how you perceive the world, and I think I've been lucky enough because I was fortunate enough to be guided properly by few mentors, like how to go about understanding who you are. Like, I think my biggest achievement personally when I was studying in Calcutta would have been like those 4 years very crucial. I don't think I learned anything, but I think I learned myself, something about me. I dwelled into myself. I got into cocoon, and that was fantastic. Like, I'm still exploring, trying to understand better. But as you say, like, modern day complexities of having to live in this world and to find sort of a bread and butter situations, and to retain your innocent originality. And so I think as long as the engagement is honest, it reflects from a kind of a very very organic
Pure side of the mind. Yeah.
I'm okay. And I think it has been long. It's not that I have ceased. I think I will stop making films with children. It's just that I think I want to dwell more with other emotions or with other themes. And I think I don't know. I was just talking to my friends a few weeks back, and I realized there are several projects, which I was, cooking up in my mind all of this year. There is a strong, I can sense a strong series of films or an engagement with adult, particularly with the female gender.
Yes.
So I was like, then I realized it's not my choice. It's not my choice. I'm rather a slave to a process.
Yes.
And there's not 1, 2, 3. There's a series. Just like I never decided to make a children film.
Yes.
In fact, I was the one to say, like, probably I'm the wrong person to make a film on children. Probably it was 2014 when I started doing it. 30. But here we are, 2024. So
you don't know exactly if you follow the process. The process goes to a certain end.
Even for a Gurnaz, for this 9 years old kid to dwell into such a world, which is a hyper world, which is between the real and unreal, and kind of a different genre altogether. It was never a conscious effort. I think it was a constant negotiation between who you are, and I think I'm a classic example of who I am, how I was raised.
Beautiful. Yes.
What culture I come from.
Yes. And this self-inquiry process is the result is Gurnaz. This constant digging inside of knowing and how it comes out.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there will be several more shifts in paradigm as long as my concerns are like. So, but like, I think having lived in urban spaces, like, for instance, when I was studying in Calcutta, it was probably around 4 or 5 years. After that also, I have stayed in Mumbai post my film school in Mumbai for almost 8 years. So I realized there are things or there are feelings which are deeply rooted, which has given me kind of opening towards complex emotions or complex scenarios. So I want to explore it too, and I want to see around where do we, or rather say experiment, where do I stand. But again, the same thing, the gauge has been the constant, like, the inward process has been the constant. Like, I never look outside, I always look inside.
That's beautiful. And the appreciation in Europe has been fantastic so far with this award, and you've been popular in Mumbai as well. So in terms of collaboration, I think you have a collaboration with Mr. Gulati as well, their film marketing department. How are you looking at the near future? Is there, apart from Gurnaz, something which you're working on, which you want to share with the audience? And someone who is a young aspirant wants to study filmmaking, what are the messages you would give to the younger generation people? Because through you and through films, we can reach as much as audience as possible, none other than any other media.
I think it has been lovely collaborating like producers like Sanjay Gulati.
Yes.
He's been a friend, kind of a mentor.
Yes.
Along with Sanjay ji, there are other friends, other producers like Mr. Ramkrishna Pokral from
Yes.
Kathmandu. He's an Emmy Award-winning producer
Yes.
who has been more like a brother to me. Like I think
It's from Nepal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think not only them. In fact,
Yes.
there are my friend circles. I'm not filmmaker. I don't make films just because of my desire or my effort. There are several friends,
Yeah.
who works for you,
Yeah.
who works as a team. There has been Ankita Purkashta, a sound designer. She has been there with all my projects.
Yeah.
She's Sadhu Khan, a very successful, popular, mixing engineer from Kolkata. He has been there. And my constant collaboration in cinematography, Apurva from Kerala. Lucas connecting for music from Vizag. All these from two guys.
Yes.
And I think I was just saying to somebody, it's a very interesting place. Like they think like it's very easy for you to make films. Like in a way they're right also. In a sense, because so long we have these friends and a few other support system.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic, But it's not only me; it's these
Yes.
people.
Yes. And it's a team game.
Yeah,
It's a team
absolutely,
game.
absolutely.
People see it from outside, maybe a solo game, but it's also a very team game, and this whole team becomes an organic unity, as an organism grows and regenerates, and there is evolution there as well.
Absolutely.
So very nice. I am meeting you, and we wish you all the best for the screening in Kolkata, and it's, I think, a nice homecoming over here in Kolkata.
Absolutely.
Right, we will be in touch with you and be of any help with regard to children's film. We are also interested in doing something which is called children's art. How to bring children in the art. So I've got a very small thing for you.